Welcome here today, and I hope you enjoy the things that we're going to talk about with regard to our signing class. Just a couple things I wanted to touch base on before we get started showing the guys that we were able to add to our class today. Number one, our staff. I just wanted to say a big thank you to our staff, not just our 9 full-time assistants, but all of the support staff. It truly does take a village to be able to do what we have to do to be able to bring guys to this program. And there were people in the academic area, there were people in the support areas, there were people on the front lines in planes, trains, and automobiles that worked their tails off to be able to make this day happen for a lot of these young men. And our staff, I just can't say enough about how hard they worked, their work ethic, the lack of sleep that they had. Their faces all look a little bit worn right now. They need a little bit of time off, and we're going to address that after this, but they really did a great job. I knew those men before we got started, so I knew that I could expect nothing less, but I'll tell you, I'm just more pleased than ever with the effort that they gave in this class and the work that they did over the last couple of weeks, because as you know, we were behind just a tad bit when we got here. So my hat's off to those guys, and any success that came with this class has everything to do with those people, and I want us to all understand that. Just talking specifically about our class, or generally about our class, we signed 24 kids today, and we obviously, just like a lot of teams in the country, we addressed a lot of needs that we had with those signings. A couple of the things that stick out to us is that we needed to provide some much needed depth, and we were able to do that in a lot of positions for us in this signing class today. I think overall we improved our overall team profile. We said that we needed to improve our profile from a length perspective as well as a speed perspective, because in this league, it's a long, fast league now, and we know that we have to be able to recruit to that to be able to compete, and we felt like we did a good job of staying in line with that philosophy. The other thing that I was very proud of is that we found the right guys, and I talked to you a little bit earlier about finding men that kind of fit the Kansas way. And as we went through this process, I think the thing that I'm most proud of is that our coaches did not let athletic ability get in the way of just taking a guy because he's that good. He had to be good, and he had to be a Kansas guy. He had to be a guy that fit what we were looking for. And if he didn't, then we had to be courageous enough to turn the page, and we did that. And as a result, we came up with a class that's super. And I'm really, really excited about the guys that we've signed today. I know they were excited, and we are certainly excited about that. I think probably the biggest thing for us was just familiarity of players. Once again, not a single guy on our staff came from outside of football, which means that they were somewhere recruiting somewhere. And most of these guys have a background in the state of Texas. That's where a lot of that came from. The other thing that helped a lot was the relationships in that state. Guys just picking up and calling. I mean, we had a bunch of folks wanting to help. The JUCO ranks, and you know what? Honestly, they're trying to help their kids, but they're also trying to help us. They know we're going to take care of them when they come here. So I think that was kind of big in that state. The thing that I like is, that we've got a couple of real good players out of this state. And I think for us to do what we really want to do, and you heard me talk about it when I was introduced, is for us to do what we really want to do, we have to take care of the state of Kansas. And we've started that process. It is not as much as we'd like in this class, but in the future, we have to continue to make those relationships count. And I will say this, I can't say enough great things about the coaches that welcomed us into their rooms and into their schools as we went throughout this recruiting period here in the state of Kansas. They were outstanding, and they were great to us, and I know that in the future we're going to get some help from those guys that we need. So that's why the numbers were like they were in the state of Texas at this time. I think the opportunity for a lot of them was maybe the one thing that stuck out, but one of the things that we talked about is this thing's going to be fun. I mean, it's going to be fun. College football's tough now. It's hard. It's a hard job. You got 2 full-time jobs as a student and an athlete. That's 2 full-time jobs. So football is too hard not to be a little bit fun. And we're going to be an up-tempo, high-flying, throwing that ball around offense. It's going to be exciting to play in. An explosive attack. Same thing defensively. We were going to be a high pressure, get after you, get upfield, try to create turnovers and steal possessions. I mean, those are things that we want to play in. And when those guys in that room, those guys that we've hired, sat in those rooms and they talk, man, I was in awe when they talked about their systems and how they were going to bring those systems to KU and what their visions were. Man, I was ready to sign. Those guys did a great job. I mean, they do a heck of a job. And, part of that vision is you being able to see it, and they were able to paint it for them.